If buying a home is on your list of things to do in 2024 and you want to keep your monthly payments as low as possible, stay tuned. We're going to talk about how to do that. Hey everybody, Melanie Atkinson here, realtor with Smith & Associates in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Housing affordability has been a huge topic over the past year and will continue to be in 2024. But as interest rates have started to creep down, a lot of stalled buyers are wondering if they should enter the market. My answer to them is always, maybe. Let's see if it makes sense for you to do that. A lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers, don't realize all the costs that go into homeownership in Florida. I'm going to go through this list, and it might be overwhelming to hear, but I'd rather you know in advance so you can budget properly. If you're budgeting just for the big cost items like mortgage, taxes, and insurance, you may be financially strapped once you add in the rest. As I go through these, I'm going to give you my tips on how to keep these costs down. First, we will talk about the big one, the monthly mortgage bill that comes every month. That bill will most likely be collecting for a combination of 3 or 4 things depending on your loan terms. We're going to go through each part. First, it will be collecting for the principal of your home loan, which pays down the actual loan amount. If you want to keep that part low, you have to purchase a lower priced house or put more money down. Pretty simple. Second, it collects for interest that you owe to the bank for giving you that money. You can get that as low as possible by getting the lowest interest rate you can get. Now, this will vary depending on a whole bunch of factors like your credit score, what prevailing interest rates happen to be at that time, and if you have any rate buy-down options. If your credit score is hurting your interest rate, ask about credit counseling to get that score up and interest rates down. If you have a seller or a builder that is offering a rate buy-down option, that can be super helpful in keeping monthly bills lower, especially if it's a permanent buy-down. Even a 1% shift in interest rates can change your monthly payments hundreds of dollars. For most people, the third thing on their mortgage monthly payment is the escrow account that collects for property taxes, homeowners, and flood insurance. Think of it as a savings account to pay for taxes and insurance. So how do you keep those low? Well, in Florida, property taxes are based on 2 things: the value of your home as determined by the property appraiser and the millage rate of the area you live in. We also have the homestead exemption here in Florida for primary residents, which gives you a decrease of your taxable value. You definitely want to sign up for that. To keep taxes low, you can research millage rates of the areas you're looking in. They definitely vary, but you also might find that they don't vary enough to make a huge difference. The lower priced home you buy, the lower the taxable value will be, and that will probably matter more if you're on a budget. As far as homeowners insurance is concerned, this is a huge one. Florida has the highest homeowners insurance rates in the country. We also have a whole bunch of properties that are in flood zones and require flood insurance. If you want to live close to the beach and you are on a budget, you have to consider the cost of flood insurance. Just flood insurance can easily be several $100s a month. And if you like charming old houses, the homeowner's insurance can be crazy expensive because there's more risk for the insurance company that something will go wrong with that older house. To keep insurance costs low, you have to look at non-flood zone areas and newer built homes. New construction single-family homes not in a flood zone have extremely affordable insurance rates, from $100 to a couple $100s a month, depending on the size and value of the home. The last thing that may be on your monthly mortgage bill is mortgage insurance, also known as PMI. If you're putting down less than 20%, you will probably have PMI. One exception to that is if you're using a VA loan, you will not have PMI. This amount varies depending on your loan amount, so the best way to keep it low is to have a lower loan amount. It's hard to give an estimate of what PMI will be, but for the purposes of this video, I typically see PMIs between $100 and $200 a month. So that is your biggest monthly bill when you own a home. What else do you have to pay for? First, you may have neighborhood fees. These will be HOA fees, CDD fees, or a combination of both. Please watch my video on CDD fees if you are going to be buying in Florida. It is really helpful. Most of the newer neighborhoods that are being built here have both CDD fees and HOA fees. The CDD is included in your tax bill and will be added to what the bank is collecting in your escrow account. Depending on the neighborhood and size of the lot you pick, CDDs are typically between $100 and $400 a month. HOA fees tend to be low in neighborhoods with high CDD fees, but higher in ones that don't have a CDD. I know it's confusing. Basically, if the neighborhood you like is well maintained and has nice amenities, you're going to pay for it either in a CDD or HOA fee. I have an episode coming out that will go through some new neighborhoods that have no CDD fees, which really help keep your costs low. The next cost is basic property maintenance. Let's break these down. If you live in a community with an HOA and you have to maintain your lawn and shrubs, that means lawn cutting, edging, mulching, etc. All of these things you can do yourself if you want to keep costs down, but you have to do them. In the summer, the grass grows super fast here, so it may be mowed about once a week. Plus, it's around 200 degrees outside, so it can be a tough chore. If you want to hire a professional lawn person, you will need to budget between $60 and $200 a month. We have a lot of bugs here in Florida, so you will need pest control, not only for the inside of your house, but you will probably need it for your lawn too. There are a lot of bugs that can destroy your grass, so lawn pest control is super important. Yes, you can research and do both of these things yourself to keep costs down. I personally have never tried to do it myself because Florida bugs are so numerous and big and gross, I feel like they would just pack a suitcase and overtake my house. My professional pest control at my house runs about $100 a month for house and lawn. I'm sure there are cheaper options out there, so shop around. We can't forget termites. There are a lot of factors to discuss for termite protection, but if you have a home that needs a termite bond, you are looking at another several $100s per year for termite protection. People that move to Florida want a pool, right? Basic pool maintenance can be expensive, but it isn't always. It totally depends on your pool. If you have a screened-in pool with no big trees around, a salt chlorinator, a good pump, and maybe a pool vacuum, that pool will be really easy to maintain. Make sure you utilize your local pool supply companies. They will test your water and tell you what you need to put in your pool. It's much cheaper, but it does require more effort than just hiring a pool company. Please keep in mind that if you're buying a house with an uncovered pool that has a lot of trees around it, there will be a lot of cleaning necessary, especially in the spring and the fall. If you don't want to worry about it and you decide to pay for professional pool services, you can expect to pay somewhere between $50 and $200 a month, depending on the size of your pool, age of pool, and trees. And the next cost we have are utilities. Electric, gas, water, internet, and trash collection are the biggest ones. The summers are hot here and our AC units use a lot of energy. Obviously, you can turn your temperature up to keep the costs down, but the other thing you can do is purchase a house that has better efficiency. Newer homes have double pane, low-E windows, better insulation, higher efficiency AC units, and appliances. Now, you can also find older homes that have been updated with new windows, appliances, and AC units. Look for efficiency to keep these costs down. Gas in Florida also tends to be cheaper than electric, so if you find an area that has natural gas, then running as much as you can on gas will keep costs down. Your hot water heater, cooktop, clothes dryer, and your heat in the winter are the main things that tend to be hooked up on gas when it's available. When talking about your water bill, the biggest factor is whether or not your neighborhood has reclaimed water. For lawn irrigation purposes, neighborhoods that have reclaimed water will have cheaper water bills than neighborhoods that don't. I lived in a reclaimed water neighborhood, then moved to South Tampa where I didn't have it. My water bill tripled because of lawn irrigation. I thought I had a plumbing leak. I was floored. In the city of Tampa, my water bill is typically between $100 and $200 a month, And when I was in a reclaimed water neighborhood, it was around $85 a month. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the internet other than to mention that Wi-Fi service as part of the HOA fee is starting to become very popular. Yes, you are paying an HOA fee, so it's not like it's totally free, but if you only need the basic service that is included in the HOA, then you don't have that extra internet cost. Trash collection here in the Tampa area isn't super expensive, and in a lot of areas it's actually included on your property tax bill, so it's not a separate bill that you're paying. Pasco County neighborhoods tend to be where I find trash bills to be separate, but they are not super expensive. And the last cost that I will go through really quickly are repair costs. When you are a homeowner, you have to fix the things that break in your home. If you buy a brand new home, you will have some builder and manufacturer warranties that will help for the first couple of years if anything happens. But if you buy a resale home, you need to set money aside every month for home repairs so you aren't financially burdened when they happen, because they will. So to wrap all of this up, as a homeowner, you will be responsible for paying back the bank for the loan, the property taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, utilities, and the repairs. Does that make you want to buy a house? I know I probably just scared everyone, but look, I promise it is doable, and it's not that scary once you start the process. What is far scarier is to go into it not knowing what you're doing and what you will have to pay for. Work with your real estate agent and lender to budget for everything and stick with that budget. Remember that you will have a tax write-off for being a homeowner, and you will hopefully gain equity that will add to your overall financial health. If you need help buying or selling here in the Tampa Bay area, please reach out to us and we will be happy to help. You can check us out on our website. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe buttons. And if you are looking for something else to watch on this channel, check out my video on Florida property taxes. It may not be the most interesting topic, but it is very informative. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.